Amara stood barefoot on the dry, cracked earth, her white dress tattered, barely clinging to her thin body. The village danced. Drums beat. People laughed. But not for her. They laughed at her. Because today, while her stepsisters were walking down golden aisles in Lagos and Dubai, marrying men with private jets and palaces, she, Amara, was being forced to marry a man who couldn't even stand. A crippled stranger in a rusty wheelchair. A man she had never met. A man whose face barely moved, whose eyes didn't blink. And yet this was her fate. Her mother was gone. Her father had died when she was 6. And ever since, her stepmother, Madame Abube, treated her like the dirt she walked on. You're lucky someone even wants you. That's what her stepmother screamed that morning, yanking her by the arm. You think you deserve love? A future? With what, huh? That ugly face and your mother's cursed blood. Amara didn't speak. She had stopped talking a long time ago. Words had no value in a world where no one listened. All she had was silence. And pain. And the memory of her real mother's voice whispering. You are more than what they say. You are gold hidden in mud. But no one saw gold that day. They saw a joke. A girl marrying a ghost in a wheelchair. Her sisters were trending on Instagram, flaunting diamonds. Amara? She was tripping over a gravel path, dragging a bouquet of fake plastic roses. The groom's name was Baba Ojo. An old, paralyzed man, with a crooked mouth and a frozen stare. Rumors said he once had a business empire. Until a mysterious accident shattered everything. Now he just stared at walls. Silent. Empty. Everyone thought she was marrying into a grave. No dowry. No ring. No kiss. Just silence. And then something strange happened. As Amara stood next to him under the broken arch of palm leaves, Baba Ojo slowly moved his hand, and placed it on hers. It was cold, but it was real. And for a second, just a second, she saw something in his eyes. Not pity. Not madness. But recognition. As if he knew something she didn't. As if this wedding was not a punishment, but a beginning. Of what? She had no idea. But what she didn't know is that the man in the wheelchair wasn't just anybody. And this marriage was not a mistake. It was a setup. A secret years in the making. And Amara was about to step into a world so dark, yet so full of hidden power, that her stepsisters would soon envy the life they had mocked. Amara couldn't sleep that night. Her first night as a wife. But there was no honeymoon suite. No white sheets. No wedding photos. Just a mattress on the floor of a dusty room. And him, Baba Ojo, sitting in silence by the window, staring into the dark forest beyond their village, as if waiting for something, or someone. She hadn't spoken a word since the ceremony. She hadn't eaten. She hadn't cried. She was just numb. But when midnight came, she heard a sound. A whisper. Coming from the forest. Soft. Strange. Like wind speaking in a forgotten language. She opened the window. Nothing. She looked at him. Still motionless. But then his head slowly turned. And for the first time, he spoke. His voice was deep, cracked, as if it hadn't been used in years. Do not fear the whispers. They've come to greet you. Amara froze. What did you say? They've waited for you, Amara. Just like I did. How did he know her name? No one told him. He hadn't spoken a word in months. That's what the villagers said. That's why they mocked the wedding. Your mother, she sent you here. She was part of the circle. The order. Before they burned it all. Amara stepped back. Her heart racing. What circle? He looked at her with eyes that suddenly seemed far younger than his body. Eyes that had seen war, fire, secrets buried deep beneath the surface of the village. You think this marriage was a mistake? Amara, you are not here to suffer. You are here to finish what your mother started. And then, he reached into his coat, and handed her something wrapped in faded red cloth. A ring. But not a normal one. It was glowing. Faintly. Like it was alive. This was your mother's. She died protecting it. Amara trembled. She had never seen anything like it. Not in fairy tales. Not in dreams. It felt ancient. Like it held pain, power, and promise all at once. What is this? It's your birthright. And your curse. Before she could speak again, the windows flew open. And the whispers turned to voices. Real voices. Calling her name. Amara. Her blood froze. She turned to ask Baba Ojo what was happening. But he was gone. The wheelchair was empty. And in the mirror across the room, she saw her reflection. But something was off. The eyes staring back at her weren't hers. Amara backed away from the mirror. Her hands trembling. The face staring back at her looked like hers. But the eyes? Too dark. Too old. Too knowing. And then the reflection smiled. But she wasn't smiling. She slammed the mirror shut and turned to run, only to find Baba Ojo standing in the doorway. Except, he wasn't in a wheelchair. He was standing tall, straight, powerful. No limp, no cane, no weakness. Just his long white robe flowing gently in the wind. Amara screamed, stumbling back. You lied to me. No, he said calmly. They lied to you, just like they lied to your mother. Sit. You must hear the truth before it's too late. And then he told her a story, one that would burn the foundation of her world to ashes. Your mother was the last of the 12 guardians. A secret order sworn to protect the spirit ring, the one I gave you. The ring chooses a woman every 27 years, and when it glows in her hand, it means the dark season is returning. The last time it happened, thousands died. The whispers you heard? Those are the spirits of the first protectors. They've been waiting for their leader. You. Amara shook her head. No, I'm not like her. I'm not strong. Strength is not a gift, Amara. It's a price. Suddenly, the door burst open. A man entered, her uncle, the one who forced her into this marriage. But this time he wasn't alone. The village priest, and behind him, several armed men. You should have left the girl in ignorance, Ojo, the priest spat. Now she knows, and we can't let her survive. Amara's heart dropped. What are you talking about? You know this too? Child, the priest sneered. We've always known. The ring's power is too great. If it awakens, the entire order of this world collapses. The rich, the powerful, we lose everything. So we silenced your mother. And now, he raised his hand. The armed men stepped forward. We silence you too. Baba Ojo stepped in front of her. But Amara was already gripping the glowing ring. It pulsed in her hand like a heartbeat. You're not silencing anyone, she said, voice trembling but rising. You've hidden the truth long enough. You buried my mother. You broke my life. But you forgot something. Fire always rises from ashes. She threw the ring into the air. And everything went white. A blinding flash. Screams. Wind. Whispers. Darkness. Then silence. When the light faded, Amara stood alone in the room. No uncle. No priest. No men. Just a scorched mark on the floor, shaped exactly like the symbol on the ring. For days, Amara wandered the forest. Barefoot. Wounded. Confused. The ring was still glowing faintly in her palm, but now it felt heavier, like it carried the weight of 1,000 voices. She kept hearing her mother's name whispered in the wind, and sometimes even her own. Amara. Daughter of flame. Bearer of the ring. At the edge of a cliff, under the moonlight, she collapsed. Her tears mixed with the earth. She screamed at the sky. I didn't ask for this. I just wanted peace. I just wanted a normal life. But the moon seemed to answer her with silence, until a soft voice spoke behind her. It was Mama Nia, the old woman who used to sell herbs in the village. The one people mocked. But now, dressed in ceremonial robes, with eyes that glowed like burning coal, she looked like something from another world. Your pain is valid, child, Mama Nia said, kneeling beside her. But peace is never given freely. It is earned with blood. She opened a leather pouch. Inside a dagger. Curved. Ancient. Engraved with the same symbol as the ring. Your mother used this blade the night she vanished, Mama Nia whispered. And now you must use it too. Amara's hand trembled as she took it. Use it for what? She asked. To summon them, Mama Nia replied. The ones below. The original guardians, the forgotten sisters of the earth. They will guide you. But they demand something in return. Later that night, Amara stood inside a sacred circle lit with red and black candles. The forest around her was deathly quiet. She held the dagger high, and then she cut her palm. Blood dripped onto the soil. I call upon the forgotten ones, she said softly. The watchers beneath. The breath of ash. The sisters of shadow. I am the daughter of the broken flame. I carry the ring, and I seek the truth, even if it kills me. The wind howled. The candles flickered violently. The trees started to bend inward like they were bowing. Then the earth beneath her feet cracked open, and from the ground rose 3 women. They were not human. Not anymore. Their bodies shimmered like smoke and gold, their eyes empty, glowing white. And they spoke in one voice, echoing, layered, ancient. You seek the truth. Then you must sacrifice something pure. Only death will open the gates to memory. Give us what you love, or give us yourself. Amara stood frozen. She thought of her little sister, of the only family she had left, and she realized, this was never just about the ring. It was about what I'm willing to lose, to make it right. She turned the blade inward, hands shaking, breath shallow, and then she whispered, if it must be me, then take me. The sisters stared, silent, and then they laughed. Courage, they said. You have passed. And with that, they vanished. But in their place, a book appeared, old, bound in skin, sealed with gold thread. On the cover, the book of her bloodline. Inside were names, and secrets, and a prophecy that said, the girl of fire shall fall before she rises, and the death she feared will become her crown. To be continued.